Hello! Today is Monday, June 13th, and we are 15 days away from the June 28th primary. I'm Dustin Zarni, Democratic Elections Commissioner, and welcome to Commissioner in a Car. Today we're going to talk about the June primary absentee ballot deadline, which is today, right now, for requesting an absentee ballot if you are requesting online on the portal. So by midnight tonight, if you need an absentee ballot, the easiest way for you to apply is to go to onvote.net and hit the thing that says click absentee ballot, go to the portal and apply and fill that out before midnight. If we have not received your either online application by midnight today or your paper ballot or your paper application, if it wasn't received in the office today in the mail, we cannot guarantee that we are going to mail you out an absentee ballot. Today is that deadline. You can still get an absentee ballot by either appearing in person or having somebody come to the counter with your application and asking it to be either mailed, the ballot mailed to you, or giving it to your agent, and the agent brings the ballot to you. So there is still opportunities for absentee ballots after today, but we cannot guarantee that we will get that ballot mailed out to you if the application has not been received in our office by the end of today. So if you've already mailed it, we would have received it and we would have sent it back. And if you're doing it online, to midnight tonight is the time to get that done. So that is the big absentee ballot deadline. Remember, with absentee balloting, that there's a new law in New York that says that if you request an absentee ballot, whether you're a permanent or temporary or any other excuse, that you cannot vote on the machine on election day. It used to be that you could go to the polls and vote, and we would take your absentee ballot, not count it till after election day, and you would no longer have, you wouldn't have to, turn in a ballot or anything like that, and we would just not count it. No longer. We count absentee ballots as they come in. So, we open them, we don't scan them, we don't tabulate until later in the cycle, but by election night, they're going to be reported. So we cannot allow you to go in person and vote by absentee. If you request an absentee ballot and don't get it, you can always call for a second one to be mailed to you. You can have somebody come down and pick up a second ballot for you. Or if you go to your early voting or election day, you can vote by affidavit ballot. And as long as you didn't return the absentee ballot, your affidavit ballot will count. So those are your options when it comes to absentees. So recapping, you can go online today. If you're on vote.net, there's a link that'll get you to it, and you can do it if you're not in Onondaga County. You can do it at the state board website or your local board of elections website, or even on vote.net, because it goes to the statewide portal. Has to be done by midnight tonight. 2, if you've already mailed in an application or you send that application online by tonight, we'll be sending you out absentee ballots. If you've requested an absentee, you cannot vote on early voting or on election day unless you vote by affidavit ballot, and because if we receive your absentee back, we will have already opened it and we'll be counting it on election night. But if you still need an absentee ballot, either a second ballot or you want to make an application, you can have an agent come in with your application, or yourself can come in with an application. And actually, you can even vote right in our offices at 1000 Erie Boulevard West. You can get a ballot. It'll be printed on demand for you. You can vote and turn in your ballot that day. We've had over almost 2,000 absentee ballots turned in to us already. About 4,000 or I'm sorry, more than that. So it's like about 50. I don't know. I actually put the stats on my Facebook pages earlier today. I can't quite remember them all, but I think it was something like 1,500 returned out of 3,500 requested. About a 35% return rate for this time out. We're 15 days out. That's not too bad for absentees. We're actually, things are coming back. Democrats are participating in absentee balloting more than Republicans, by number and by return rate. So that's, I don't know if that's significant, but it is the statistic, and so it is what it is. The other thing that is going on this week is early voting will start on Saturday. So we're getting ready for the start of early voting. We have 8 sites in Onondaga County. They are, let's see if I can remember them all, Clay Town Hall, Lysander Town Hall. They are inside the city of Syracuse, Armand Magnarelli Center, Beecham Library, and Southwest Community Center. To the south, it's Lafayette Fire Station number 1. To the east, it's DeWitt Town Hall, and then of course down in the southwest is OCC Mulroy Hall. Camillus Municipal Building and North Syracuse Community Center are not early voting sites for primaries. Only early voting for election day. So for a general election. So for the June and August primary, they are not early voting. Hours for early voting are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the weekends. 8 hours of early voting on the weekends. That's more hours than before. It used to be 5 hours. Now it's 8 hours by law. On Monday, Thursday, and Friday, we will be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Tuesday and Wednesday, it'll be noon to 8. So those are the early voting hours. It starts on June 18th. It runs to June 26th. Our voter registration numbers are set. We got our on the 13th. I'm sorry, not on the 13th. On about a week. It's about 10 days ago now. I think it was June 3rd. Was our voter registration cutoff, and we have caught up with voter registration forms in Onondaga County, and so we're at about 301,000 voters now in Onondaga County. That's pretty high. We've actually started, we had a big drop off from last year. Last year, the record was set at 308,000 voters, but we had a big drop off, about 10,000 voters, which happens after a presidential election. It usually happens about 16 months after a presidential election. As voters drop off, people don't update their voter addresses, and we're able to process voter cards, and so that is going on. Right now we are set, and we are actually, sometimes we have to work right up until the Wednesday before early voting, Thursday before early voting, before we're ready to go. We are ready to go now. The staff has done some incredible hard work. You can check your voter registration by going to onvote.net. It should be updated no later than tomorrow. Will be the last update. If you had address changes, it'll tell you where your polling place is for election day. It will tell you, what party you're in. So that, those are the things that you need to know for a primary election. Remember, only Democrats and Republicans can vote in the June primary in Onondaga County. Democrats have choices for the governor and lieutenant governor. Republicans have choices for governor, and then they have a small committee primary in the town of Pompey for the Republican Town Committee. Those are the only dates, or I'm sorry, those are the only races in June for Onondaga County. Of course, we're still keeping an eye on that August primary. Friday was the deadline for petitions, and there were Steve Wells, a Republican, filed petitions to run, so that officially created a primary for Congress for Democrats and Republicans. And there was a Conservative Party petition filed for SD 48, the Rachel May seat. The Conservative parties are now going to have a primary between Justin Kennedy and Julie Abbott Keenan. Those are the only petitions that were turned in as of the recording of this. Later on today, check my social media feeds. I may have an update for you, because today is the last day for petitions to be received if they were postmarked. I don't expect any to come in SD48, SD50, or New York 22, but it's possible. So we'll see what happens later today. And David asked, will there be a second drop after the second cards are sent out? I don't know what you mean by a second drop. There will be another round of mail check cards that will go out after this primary, telling people about where their polling places are, and also their new district numbers, since redistricting happened after we sent out our last mail check card. So a mail check card is going to go out later, sometime in August, we believe. So we're working on that, or late July. So we'll be working on that as soon as this primary is done. Let's see. I don't know if there's anything really else to talk about with the June primary. I did a Sunday Thoughts column, which is not something I always do, but I wanted to detail all of the election law changes that happened during the legislature this last year. Some of them and where they stand. A little bit more detail than I did in my Commissioner and Car last week. So check that out. Of course, you can check all this out at DustinZarni.com. See all of my writings there. I also have a Wonky Wednesday up there for Onondaga County. This next Wednesday, I will be doing another Wonky Wednesday focusing on the suburbs of Onondaga County. A little change in my Zoom with Zarni that I have. Of course, last Friday I released Zoom with Zarni with Tom Keck about the first January 6th public hearing from last Thursday. That was released late Friday. Please go check it out. Tom is an incredible person to check all this out with. You can check all that out, but also then check out the I'll have a Zoom with Zarni coming this week with Alejandro. She's the executive director for the New York Democratic Lawyers Committee, and also then next week I'll be doing Jarrett Berg and Vote Early New York. We had a little change up because of the plans, but that's what's going on. So it looks like I might be having some technical difficulties, so I'm going to end this cast and see if it can get fully downloaded and up. One last comment about the January 6th televised hearings. You really should see the hearing that happened earlier today. It really debunked a lot of the myths of the election denial that happened after the 2020 election. Just a major debunction of the horrible lies that were spread in the wake of 2020 and how it fed into the insurrection in January 6th. This is must-see television, people. You need to be watching it. You need to be informed. It was because January 6th wasn't just about one day. It was about weeks or months of going towards that fateful day, and we are still living that, and we still could be living that going forward. We have to learn from what happened to be able to prevent it from happening in the future. So that's all I got. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and go Celtics. Bye-bye.